Yeah, Patrick Kerney, 11-year NFL defensive end, two-time All-Pro, 2007 NFC Defensive Player of the Year. Upon retirement, went and got my MBA from Columbia University, and since then worked for the NFL office, created the Personal Finance Boot Camp, and also started Kerney Insurance Agency, and have been running that since. Once I sort of had that revelation that, a little bit of performance one way or another was going to be real dollars to me, I realized I had to independently educate myself. I couldn't just take a third party's word for it, especially one who had a profit interest in what I was doing and working with me. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but they're going to be biased because they're human. And so, fortunately, I was able to dig in on some books about some people who had established fabulous generational wealth. A book called The Davis Dynasty, about the Shelby Davis family, a couple of Warren Buffett biographies, and really familiarized myself with the way these people thought about money, about not only the fiscal side of not liking to spend money, about not showing off their wealth, but also on the investment side and how they evaluated investment opportunities, how they stuck to the fundamentals, and how that paid them handsomely beyond decades, really for generations. When it comes to evaluating an investment advisor, right, there are very simple metrics. Beyond getting a look at their own books and what they've done with their own wealth, there's a term called net relative returns. The net is the return you get on your money after fees. There's plenty of people out there who make fabulous returns on investment, but they're taking the lion's share of the money. So after you strip out the fees you've paid, the returns are not that great. Net relative, the relative part of that, is relative to various indexes. There's the S&P 500. Right? You can buy shares of this on Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab. They all have what's called an index fund, where you can buy a small piece of the 510 largest companies in America. They're all, for the most part, profitable, long-standing, established, professionally run, right? And have offered an excellent return over the history of our country. Better return than probably 95% of mutual funds over any period beyond 10 years. And so, that's the relative. If after fees, they're not beating what you could do on your own by buying shares of an S&P 500 index fund, what are you paying them for, right? And the return is just that number at the end, right? Is it 5%, is it 7%? Historically, over most reasonable time frames, the S&P 500 has returned about 8 to 9% a year, right? You compound that over time, right? Your money's doubling every approximately 9-10 years, right? 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, and before you know it, you've got a great deal of buying power. When it comes to who you're letting into your financial camp, be hard on that hiring process. This is someone applying to you for a job. Remember the filter you had to go through, the combine, the interviews, the work you had to put in, the preparation, the background information you had to give up, and the background information they went and found out about you. Are you doing this with your future employees? Are you holding them accountable? Are you making sure that they are productive? Right? If you're not, you're shortchanging yourself.